So not really.
Cool. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the open mic at the Drop Comedy Club. I see a lot of familiar faces and I see a lot of new faces to me, so that'll be exciting. I hope you guys got good jokes and can make me laugh because I'm going to start off a little lukewarm. We got maybe 10, 11 people on the list I can count. This is my first time hosting any event, so thank you. Be gentle. I like to be Little Spoon, so big business, you got my back? Yes, thank you. I don't know why, but I always grab onto the nightstand like a 12-year-old who just found porn. Or me when I just found porn, so I'm going to put that back there. And actually, Jenny, can you hand me the black book behind you? Because I forgot it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thanks. Okay, awesome. So I just want to get a few things that have kind of been angering me off my chest to start off. As a kid, I played Magic the Gathering. So anytime I see MTG, I get excited because it reminds me of opening up booster packs or deck boxes and building a deck.
Yay.
Yeah, I know, right? But today, MTG is following around Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think that's how you pronounce her name. So I was getting confused when I see in the headlines, MTG says something super racist. Because I'm like, who at Wizards of the Coast is saying some shit they shouldn't be saying? I really need white women to stop ruining my childhood. What else do I have on here? Oh, on my way over here, I was taking the roundabout on Main and whatever's over there near Chippewa Bowling. And I really like roundabouts because it really eases the flow of traffic until you run into somebody who doesn't know how to use them. And today I got cut off on my way in, and the van had a bumper sticker that was like, "Every life matters," like a pro-life kind of bumper sticker. And I thought to myself, every life matters, except for the dick behind me. Did you guys all have a good Thanksgiving? It's our first show since Thanksgiving. Woo! Did you guys have those weird, awkward arguments with your family about politics? Did you guys have good dessert? Anybody have a favorite dessert at Thanksgiving?
Cream pie.
Cream pie, nice. Always good, always good choice. Joe, I can't see you. What about you? Nothing. Good. I'm a big cheesecake fan, but I was disappointed this year because my family didn't start any arguments or disagree. No matter how much I tried to stir the pot. I really wanted that Thanksgiving experience. So I'd be like, hey, you hear about that Kyle Rittenhouse trial? Nothing. Or like, hey, aren't the cops doing weird shit? Still nothing. The only thing that got a rise out of my family was when I mentioned to my aunt that her daughter was coming in the Wednesday before Christmas. She's like, I haven't heard from her since my birthday. So I don't know if it was supposed to be a surprise, and if it is, I ruined it. Or she just doesn't like her aunt, or her mom, wow. But then my cousin texted me, I just like you more. So that kind of settled that. I had things written down. Let me see here. I participated in No Shave November, and when I told my dad, he was like, oh, so you're raising awareness for cancer, or things like that. I was like, nah. I just want to look like trash. Nobody really uses it to raise awareness for anything. The only thing I've become aware of with No Shave November is that, most men shouldn't grow facial hair. You guys ever take a second to think about how weird Thanksgiving looks to foreigners? We stuff our faces until we're nauseous with turkey and starches. And then we argue with our family, and somebody ends up crying, all because some dicks from England decided to massacre Native Americans. It's kind of sick. But then I have another slice of pumpkin pie, I don't care anymore. I still live with my mom, because I'm trying to perpetuate that struggling comedian stereotype. And living with my mom and my stepdad has made me realize that I may have been raised by hobbits and I am Gandalf in the Hobbit hole. All the snacks are always stored right about knee level. And anytime I do my laundry, I'm hitting my head on the pipes that go across the ceiling, while her and my stepdad just slide right on through. But I end up giving it to them by putting their keys on top of a tall cabinet and watching them scream at me, "I'm gonna be late for work! How am I gonna afford this house? I don't care. I don't pay rent." My mom thinks she has her dogs trained. So she has a bell on the door that they ring when they want to be let out. And when they come in, she gives them treats. But from an outsider's perspective, it looks like the dogs have realized that we find that bell annoying as shit, so they ring it until we let them out. Then they go outside, play around for 3 minutes, and then start jumping on the door to be let back in. And then we give them treats. And then rinse and repeat. Who's training who? Are we Pavlov's people? Any ND fans out there? Sure. Lukewarm, okay. You guys hear the news about Brian Kelly? A lot of people are like upset because like, oh, he won so many games for us. But I'm kind of relieved because sure, he won all those games, but never when it mattered. Undefeated season? Yes, daddy. Blown out championship. 2 college football playoff appearances? Say more. Blown out first round. Having Coach Brian Kelly as your coach, too many words, I'm realizing that now, is kind of like edging for 11 years. Like, come on, Brian, I just need you to finish. I need to come. As you can tell, I am a sports fan. But like, sports fans are fucking weird. They're always talking about their team like, oh, we won, or oh, we did so well. Okay, sure. I suppose you drinking your warm Busch Light and sitting in the same soiled underwear every Saturday really helped Michigan beat Ohio State, Bill. I can smell you. I don't know if I want to do this one. What about? I'm really jealous of professional athletes because it seems like anytime they get traded, their sins are forgiven. Michael Vick went to jail for dogfighting. Then when the Eagles picked him up, he became a good story. Kareem Hunt got picked off the Kansas City Chiefs for hitting a woman. Gets traded to Cleveland Browns, and now he's on a playoff-winning team. I get pulled over by the cops with pot in my car. Well, they dispose of the evidence. Let's say that's because I'm an athlete. No other reason. No other reason at all. I'm going to tell you guys some weird sex stories real quick. This first one's not really like a sex story, but you never quite forget the first time a cat accidentally licks your balls. Now, I'm not a weirdo, okay? I was laying in my girlfriend's bed, naked, while she was at work, because that's how God intended it. And then I feel a wet scrape of sandpaper across my sack. And I jump in the air and I look behind me. There's a confused cat looking at me. I think he expected a tasty treat, and all he got was a salty scare. Thankfully, it hasn't awakened anything in me yet. I got 2 more, and then we'll get on to the real comics. Did you guys have that weird, like, sex story in high school that got passed around to people, and the details got skewed because it was a game of telephone, and a friend of a friend always had the video, but nobody ever saw it? Ours involved a girl, her dog, and some peanut butter. I won't get into the details, that would insult your intelligence. But while everybody else was concerned about like what it would do for her college career or like what her boyfriend would think, I was over here asking the hard questions. Like, what kind of peanut butter was it? Was it creamy or crunchy? If it was crunchy, that's kind of messy, right? And was it Peter Pan peanut butter? Because this is 2012 and they just had their salmonella recall. And I'm young. I don't know if that's sexually transmitted. And this last one's a doozy. Does anybody have a good time losing their virginity? Oh, good for you. I did not. I was hanging out with some friends playing video games when a girl texted me, "Hey, come over. I want you." All right, finally gonna do it. As I'm getting ready, I jokingly tell my sister to make me a sandwich because I need fuel for what's to come, and I'm still a little bit sexist. Give me a break, I was in high school. And to my surprise, she does, rather quickly. And I scarf it down, and I'm on the way. While I'm driving there, my friend who's still at the house texts me, "Hey, where'd you go?" I was like, "On my way to lose my V card. Wish me luck." Then I go up to the girl's room, which is in an attic, and after a few minutes of awkward thrusting and hitting my head against the sloped ceiling, I start to feel a grumble in my stomach. Don't worry, it's just nerves. So I continue. But that feeling doesn't go away. It starts to grow. So I can grab my hand, fondle it apart. And then I do. And I keep going. But then I start to feel a warm trickle go down my leg. And I'm thinking to myself, I am just that good. She is just that wet. But then I start to notice a smell. So I look behind me. And I notice a cool design on her sheets. I didn't know you liked Jackson Pollock. The fuck are you talking about? My sheets are white. That's when the fog of morning starts to clear. I didn't just fart. And she wasn't just that wet. Oh, fuck. Now by this point, you'd think she'd realize what was going on. But she hasn't, so she goes to the restroom. And I use this perfect opportunity to grab my clothes and get the fuck out of there, like an asshole. When I get to my car, I check my phone. And the same friend had texted me, "Hey, no, seriously, get back home. Your sister crushed up some laxatives and put it in that sandwich she gave you." And like, I was a little upset at the time, not actually really upset, but like nowadays, that's like a great prank. But I ended up getting the last laugh, because I'm still here, motherfuckers. Only a few people get that one story. Alright, so I'm just going to finish my stuff up here. What we're going to start with is, up at number 1, he may or may not be a Grammy Award-winning artist. He may or may not have won a Pulitzer Prize. Your first comedian night is Paul Johnson.